What if the reason work feels overwhelming isn't because you're doing too little, but because you're doing too much of the wrong things? And what if, by 2026, productivity stops being about working harder and starts being about directing intelligence? For centuries, progress was measured in effort. Longer hours meant more value. Faster typing meant better performance. But today, a quiet transformation is underway. Artificial intelligence is no longer just speeding up tasks. It's reshaping how decisions are made, how ideas evolve, and how work itself is defined. We are entering an era where intelligence becomes leverage, and the most productive people aren't the busiest, they're the most intentional. In this new age, work isn't measured by how much you do with your hands, but by how well you guide systems that think, learn, and adapt. AI now reads, writes, designs, plans, and optimizes in the background, turning human ideas into scalable outcomes. The question is no longer can machines work? It's how do humans work when machines think? Today on Next Core AI, we're exploring the AI productivity engine, the invisible system redefining effort, creativity, and time itself. By the end of this video, you'll understand not just how work is changing, but how to position yourself ahead of it, not as a replaceable worker, but as a conductor of intelligence. If you're ready to understand the future before it arrives, like this video, subscribe to Next Core AI and ring the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. The era of intelligent leverage. For most of human history, output scaled with effort. If you wanted more results, you worked harder. But in 2026, productivity has a new definition. It's no longer measured by how much energy you expend, but by how effectively you delegate thinking to machines. AI doesn't replace ambition, it multiplies it. Intelligent systems now handle complexity, coordination, and repetition at a scale no human ever could. This shift marks the beginning of intelligent leverage, where one person can influence outcomes that once required entire teams. Work becomes less about force and more about direction. The modern worker is no longer valued for endurance, but for clarity. Those who understand how to guide intelligence gain an exponential advantage. Productivity becomes a matter of vision, not stamina. The end of busy work. In the early 2020s, nearly half of the average workday was consumed by administrative tasks, emails, scheduling, data entry, and follow-ups. By 2026, much of that friction has disappeared. AI agents now read, classify, prioritize, and respond across platforms automatically. Your inbox organizes itself, meetings summarize themselves, calendars adjust in real time based on priorities. This isn't simple automation, it's contextual intelligence. The result is a workday that feels calmer, clearer, and more intentional, where humans focus on decisions instead of maintenance. Mental fatigue decreases as cognitive clutter fades away. Attention returns to strategy, creativity, and problem-solving. Workdays become shorter, but outcomes become stronger. The cognitive assembly line. The Industrial Revolution mechanized muscle. The digital revolution mechanized information. The AI revolution mechanizes cognition. Today, ideas move through a cognitive assembly line where AI refines, tests, expands, and optimizes them before they ever reach execution. A single thought can become a full campaign, product, or strategy in hours instead of months. This changes what it means to be productive. Success is no longer about typing faster or multitasking better. It's about thinking in systems and allowing intelligence to scale your imagination. Creativity accelerates when friction disappears. Iteration happens instantly instead of painfully. The bottleneck shifts from execution to intention. The new employee of the month. Across industries, companies are quietly crediting growth to workers that don't exist. Digital employees powered by AI. These systems handle marketing strategies, financial forecasting, operations planning, and customer engagement autonomously. They don't get tired, distracted, or burned out. But their real value isn't that they work endlessly. It's that they free humans to think creatively. When repetition disappears, invention returns. The new employee of the month doesn't replace people. It gives them room to become visionaries again. Humans step out of reaction mode and into leadership. Innovation becomes the default instead of the exception. Work shifts from survival to strategy, from automation to autonomy. Automation follows instructions. Autonomy pursues outcomes. That distinction defines the leap happening now. Modern AI systems don't just execute tasks. They monitor results, learn from feedback, and adjust their own behavior. They detect errors, refine processes, and improve performance without being prompted. In many ways, they behave like junior employees learning on the job. As this autonomy grows, workflows evolve into living systems. The boundary between tool and teammate blurs, creating a new category of digital collaboration. Systems become proactive instead of reactive. Mistakes turn into data instead of delays. Productivity becomes adaptive, not rigid. Humans in the loop. Despite all this power, the most effective AI systems still depend on humans. Not for speed, but for meaning. AI can generate designs, text, and analysis instantly, but it can't decide what feels right, what matters most, or what aligns with human values. Taste, ethics, and intention remain deeply human responsibilities. True productivity emerges when efficiency is paired with purpose. The future doesn't belong to those who automate everything, but to those who know where human judgment is irreplaceable. Humans become editors, not operators. Decision-making gains emotional intelligence. Meaning becomes the final filter. The invisible workforce. Beneath every modern organization, an invisible workforce now operates around the clock. Millions of AI processes route shipments, optimize logistics, manage payroll, generate content, and forecast demand, quietly transforming thought into action. This is the AI productivity engine. It's not a single product or platform, but an ecosystem humming beneath human ambition. Most people never see it, yet everything depends on it. And as these systems grow more capable, our responsibility grows alongside them. Trust becomes a critical asset. Oversight becomes as important as speed. Invisible power demands visible accountability. The one-person company. One of the most radical outcomes of AI productivity is the rise of the one-person company. In 2026, solo creators and founders can operate with the power of full organizations. Filmmakers produce documentaries alone. Consultants replace agencies. Educators build global platforms independently. AI handles execution while humans provide direction. Productivity is no longer about managing people. It's about managing possibilities. When you direct intelligence effectively, you become the CEO of your own time. Independence scales without isolation. Creativity expands without bureaucracy. Individuals gain leverage once reserved for institutions. The productivity paradox. But efficiency has a shadow. When output becomes effortless, it's easy to confuse motion with meaning. AI can generate infinite content, but it can't decide what's worth creating. Without intention, productivity becomes noise. Without reflection, it becomes addiction. The most important skill of 2026 isn't faster execution. It's intentional efficiency. Knowing what not to automate is just as important as knowing what to delegate. Because time saved without purpose is still time wasted. Clarity becomes the new discipline. Focus becomes the new productivity hack. Stillness regains its value. The renaissance of work. The age of the AI productivity engine isn't the end of work, it's a rebirth. Work becomes less about survival and more about expression. Less about exhaustion and more about impact. For the first time, our tools are teaching us how to be more thoughtful, more creative, and more human. The ultimate productivity isn't doing more, it's becoming more. And in this new era, intelligence serves intention, and technology returns us to ourselves. Work reconnects with purpose. Time reconnects with meaning. And humanity reclaims its role at the center of progress. We're living through a rare moment in history. A point where our tools are no longer just extensions of our hands, but extensions of our minds. The AI productivity engine isn't about replacing human effort. It's about redefining human value. As machines take on execution, humans are invited back into meaning, creativity, and purpose. The real promise of AI isn't infinite output, it's reclaimed attention. It's the freedom to think deeply, choose carefully, and create intentionally. In a world where everything can be automated, what remains human becomes priceless. Stillness becomes powerful. Curiosity becomes a competitive edge. And purpose becomes the ultimate productivity multiplier. This is the future Next Core AI exists to explore, a future where intelligence serves intention, and technology returns control to the human at the center of it all. The next chapter won't be written by those who move the fastest, but by those who think the clearest. If this video helped you see work, time, and AI differently, like the video, subscribe to Next Core AI, and ring the bell so you're always part of what's coming next. Until our next exploration, learn fast, think deep, and remember, the future doesn't replace you. It works with you.